This is the tragic story of Paul Quant Sr., a 78-year-old disabled veteran who met a brutal and excruciating end at the hands of an unexpected assailant. For years, Blues Creek in northwest Gainesville, Florida, served as a peaceful haven for Paul Quant. He was known as a kind-hearted gentleman who embraced life with optimism and saw the good in everyone. However, on the night of January 9, 2012, his tranquil existence was shattered by a violent home invasion. The scene investigators encountered was nothing short of nightmarish. Blood stained the carpets, and Quant was left battered and bruised, clinging to life. Despite the agony he endured, the disabled Navy veteran summoned the strength to seek help, staggering to his neighbor Virginia Grissom's home to plead for assistance. In a harrowing 911 call, Paul's voice trembled with pain as he recounted the horror unfolding, a testament to his unwavering courage and resilience in the face of unimaginable suffering.
911, what's the emergency? My next door neighbor has been chopped up. Oh my God, he's in a wheelchair. He's been my neighbor for 8 years. What's his name, ma'am? His name is Paul Quant. We're getting you some help. Just stay on the line. Stay with him. Okay, they're coming to your house as fast as they can. Tell me exactly what happened. He's banging on my door. He's covered in head to toe. Covered in blood. He's just broken through his house. They tied him up. He is being away from home. How many people broke into his house? Oh my God. A man and a woman. Can you ask him when they left his house? About 30 minutes ago, he thinks. So what did they want? They cleaned his safe out. And they stole his Cadillac. A white Cadillac Eldorado. His single bedroom for attached. Okay. I know. She's been in the ambulance. I'm so sorry.
With severe head trauma and a portion of his forearms gruesomely severed by a knife, investigators determined that Paul Quant Sr. had endured torture during the robbery. The assailants likely sought information about valuable assets within his home. Despite Virginia Grissom's prompt call for an ambulance, Quant Sr., before slipping into unconsciousness, identified a male and female as the perpetrators of the attack. They fled with all possessions, including contents from his personal safe. Rushed to the hospital, Quant Sr. tragically succumbed to his injuries shortly after arrival. Meanwhile, Gainesville Police Department Sergeant Stephen Gerard located the stolen Cadillac not far from the scene. A high-speed pursuit ensued, with the suspect reaching speeds of over 100 miles per hour before colliding with two other vehicles. Upon searching the suspect, authorities discovered several incriminating items linking him to the crime, including a stun gun, bloodied duct tape, and latex gloves stained with blood. Hastily, he was placed under arrest, opting to exercise his right to silence. Identified as 22-year-old Austin Mark Jones through fingerprint analysis, Gainesville authorities intensified their search for the female assailant mentioned by Paul Quant to Grissom. Through inquiries with acquaintances and relatives, law enforcement uncovered Paul's regular interactions with caregivers. Each caregiver was obligated to log their visits, providing a trail for investigators to follow. Remarkably, one caregiver's address matched that of Mark Jones, leading authorities to his cousin, 22-year-old Miranda Martin. At her listed residence, detectives encountered Martin's boyfriend, Chad McKee, who professed ignorance of the incident. He was subsequently escorted to an interrogation room for further questioning.
Can you tell me about Miranda?
She's been my girlfriend for about 6 years.
Do you know where she's at right now? As far as I know, she was at work.
You know a guy by the name of Austin?
He's Miranda's cousin.
He's in jail. Or he's at the hospital. He's fixing to go to jail.
All I can tell you about Austin is that I know he has been in trouble a few times. But other than that, I don't really know Austin.
When was the last time we heard from Miranda?
It was 2:54 a.m. She told me she was at her work, like, and her patient had fell asleep. And that was really, I just told her I was watching a movie.
What time was Miranda supposed to get off work?
She told me 8.
Well, we don't want you caught up in something that you shouldn't be caught up in. Because what we're investigating is very serious crime. Attempted murder, home invasion, robbery, a lot of bad stuff.
We really had a character for her to do anything like what you're talking about. I mean, I've been with Miranda for 6 years and she hasn't done anything against the law other than traffic citations.
It's possible she's not involved in this.
No, I know, like I said,
It's possible our information has led us to her. And when we finally reach her, we'll find that she wasn't at all who we were looking to speak with.
Well, if you will, hang tight, and we're going to meet with the sergeant and make sure he's good with everything.
Listen, dude, I don't know what you told them and all this kind of stuff and everything, but I don't think you're being straight up. I find it hard to believe that she's been your girlfriend for several years and you don't know anything.
I mean, what are you asking me if I think that my girlfriend?
I think that she asked you about it. She mentioned it in front of you.
I'm just as shocked as you are to find out that you guys are knocking on my door whatever time asking me if my girlfriend's committed attempted murder when she had to go to work. That's what she told me.
You just talked to her manager. She said she's not working today. Not at all. Why is she lying now about going to work?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Initially, detectives strongly suspected that Chad was complicit in his girlfriend's actions and was attempting to shield her from consequences. However, as the interviews progressed and investigators scrutinized his demeanor and gestures, they gradually came to believe that he was genuinely unaware of his girlfriend's nefarious intentions.
Call her, put her on speaker, say, hey, what's up? Are you coming home? What's the plan? And then we'll just go from there, see what happens.
It's a policeman.
The mailbox is full. I cannot accept.
I don't think she's going to pick up. If Miranda was in trouble, if she couldn't come home to you, what was she?
Her mom,
What's her name?
Kathy Martin.
The detectives opted to visit Miranda's mother's residence in Fort White to inquire about her daughter's location. To their astonishment, they discovered Miranda hiding in one of the rooms. Both Miranda and her mother, Kathy Jones Martin, were subsequently brought in for questioning. They were interrogated separately in different rooms, with the detectives focusing on establishing a cohesive timeline. Any disparities between their testimonies could potentially provide crucial evidence against them in the ongoing investigation.
Tell me about your day yesterday.
I left my apartment. It was around 11, 12, and I went out to my mom's.
Yesterday, between daylight and dark, Austin asked Miranda if he could give him a ride to
Okay.
his lady friend.
I met up with some chick, and that's the last I seen him.
Gave Austin a ride to work.
It was a parking lot off of, I don't know if it was 13th or 440 White. I just dropped him off and left.
Okay, when you dropped him off and left, where'd you go?
Dad thought I had to work, so I had to go back and pretend like I was getting my work clothes.
Why are you lying to Chad?
I lied to him last night because I just wanted to spend a night like with my mom and everything. And I didn't want him to get mad, so I told him I was working.
During the brief interrogation, Miranda confessed to deliberately deceiving her boyfriend about her location. This admission shed light on her true character, revealing a willingness to manipulate and distort the truth to serve her own agenda.
Okay, so you dropped Austin off,
And then
then drove back to your mom's.
yes.
So what time do you think you got to your mom's?
It was like 10.
Okay, so she left around dusk.
Made it in between 10 and 11.
Okay.
But it's what, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 6 hours she's gone to just drop him off. Did she say if she went anywhere else after that? Or?
I thought she was going to work.
If you can think of anything, I would much rather lay everything on the table. I don't know. Maybe everything that you've told us is what you know. I don't know. But I just like to let people know that from the very beginning.
You were in Fort White at 10 o'clock. I take it that you had your phone with you.
The detectives suspect that Miranda was in Gainesville, where Paul Quant resided, on Monday, January 9th. However, both Miranda and her mother maintain that she was in Fort White that night, 32 miles away from Gainesville, as Miranda intended to stay with her mother. To build a case against them, the detectives must first debunk this alibi.
Your signal was bouncing off a tower towards Gainesville at 11 o'clock. Would that surprise you?
Yeah, it would surprise me.
There is a reason. We want you to be able to explain it now before we...
Okay, because I thought my boyfriend was cheating on me, okay? So I drove back just to see if his car was in the parking lot.
You drove by where?
My
And you got back to Gainesville at what time now?
It was around like 1 or 1:30.
In a significant turn of events, the detectives achieved their objective as Miranda altered her account, claiming she returned to Gainesville to check on her boyfriend, thereby implicating herself in the vicinity at the time of the crime.
We have some reservations about where your daughter was last night. Please, be honest.
She spent the night at my house last night. She made it in between 10 and 11. She rented the movie Paul, and we watched that.
Miranda's mother, however, persisted in maintaining their alibi, insisting that she and her daughter were together the entire night. It became apparent to the detectives that this was likely a rehearsed story. Frustrated by the lack of progress, they opted to conclude the interrogation, realizing it was leading nowhere.
How many times total you think you worked for Paul?
Oh, it was 3 days a week.
At least once a week, I guess you make his bed.
Yes.
Okay.
The bed sheets, everything that took off the bed, put in the washer, and then put back on the bed.
So you never got anything off the closets?
The only time I ever on the closet was just hanging up stuff, and that's it.
Okay. So you saw the safe there?
Oh, I didn't think that was like a safe or anything.
What do you think it was?
I thought it was just like a box, say like a metal box.
Be honest with me. What was the reason for bringing him over here? And be honest.
He was supposed to meet with some girl. I dropped him off.
You dropped Austin off just down the road from Paul's house, right? Miranda, be honest with me. You dropped him off just down the road from Paul's house, right?
He was meeting some girl, and that's that. That's honestly it.
Miranda, I know we've been talking a long time to Detective Mayo. Every time we come outside, there's a little bit more information that you've disclosed. And that's why we keep coming back in here and asking you some more questions, okay? Because nothing seems to be adding up. When you guys went there last night, okay, and when you guys drove up there, you know, whatever you planned to do, did you expect it to unfold the way it unfolded? Did you expect Austin to act like that? Miranda, this is important. Things changed, right? Things changed, right?
Yes. I thought you were just gonna scare him, just not hurt him, just scare him.
At last, Miranda admitted that she did, in fact, drop off Austin at Paul's house with the intention of making contact with Paul himself, rather than for Austin to meet a girl. At this juncture, both the detectives and Miranda realized that there was no turning back. The truth was on the verge of being fully revealed.
What was Austin's new plan now?
I guess he just wanted everything.
I haven't seen everything that he's got, so you tell me what everything is. What does he want from Mr. Paul?
I didn't care about what he got or anything. Like, I didn't even want Austin to go in the first place.
But he did go, and you knew he was going there to scare him.
Brenda, did he tell you to wait for him?
I waited for him down the street where there was like a house for rent.
It must have been hell waiting. Did you ever go in the house just to see what was going on to get him?
Did you try to stop him?
I was only at past the doorstep for a little while, and I froze.
Okay.
Miranda has now confessed to being present in Paul Quant's residence at the same time as Austin. However, she is attempting to minimize her role in the crime by only acknowledging peripheral involvement. In order to press charges against her for her complicity in the crime, the detectives require further admissions from Miranda.
You're just standing there, right? Were you in shock? Did you hear Mr. Paul yell for help?
I couldn't hear anything. It was.
Miranda, what was he saying?
It was just, honestly, I just couldn't hear anything.
What time last night did you go over to Mr. Paul's house?
Between 9:30 and 10.
Between 9:30 and 10. And who went?
Austin went first, and then I followed. Austin rang the doorbell, and the next thing you know, he just pushes it open.
Did Mr. Paul see you?
I don't think he had a chance after Austin just pushed him.
Do you follow him into the, you follow Austin in?
Yes, so I was standing like at the edge. He was like, throw that mask at me, put this on.
You threw the mask at you, told you to put it on?
Yes, sir.
What color was the mask?
It was a red Elmo.
You had a PIN number? Okay, so he got Mr. Paul's PIN number?
For the safe.
Okay. So did Austin tie him up?
Yes.
Was he begging for his life?
He just kept saying, I'll give you everything you want. Please stop. Oh, that hurt.
And what was Austin hitting him with?
It looked like his fist.
His fist? And did you see Mr. Paul bleeding? Yes? Okay.
I didn't know if Austin was about to do something to me next.
Okay. You know that Austin's hitting him, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you're saying Austin's collecting everything in the house to take it. So what did Austin take?
I seen him with a box of stuff.
A box of stuff.
Not knew what all was in the box.
Any chance that maybe you collect anything in the house? Did you take anything?
Austin just kept telling me, take it, take it.
And where did you put that stuff?
In the trunk of his car.
Did you drive the Cadillac out of the garage?
Yes, sir. He made me drive to the bank.
You guys drove to the bank to use a debit card at the banks?
Yes.
What bank did you go to?
Capital, some stuff.
Did you go to an ATM machine? If we get some video from that ATM, is it going to be you?
Yes.
How much money did you take out?
4.
So you took out 400? Okay. Where'd you go next?
To a bank on Newberry, but it had exceeded.
Oh, exceeded limit.
That was you too. I mean, if we pull the bank records,
It's me.
it's you. What are you feeling right now, Miranda?
I'm the worst person in the whole entire world, and I let something bad happen to somebody that didn't deserve it, and I should have stopped it.
After concluding the interview, it became evident to the detectives that Miranda was just as complicit in the crime as Austin, despite her attempts to portray herself as a victim coerced by her cousin. This perception was later validated when detectives searched the car and discovered Miranda's journal. Its contents revealed the true malevolent nature of Miranda Martin, dismantling the facade of a manipulated and controlled individual. In reality, she was the mastermind behind the operation, manipulating everyone involved. Entries in the journal outline meticulous plans for the crime, including strategies for entry and timing. Additionally, a key to Mr. Quant's house was found in the car, suggesting prior reconnaissance. The investigators concluded that Miranda orchestrated the brutal murder, with Austin serving as the enforcer. Both Miranda Martin and Austin Jones were charged with attempted first-degree murder and conspiracy to commit home invasion robbery.